Okay, so should we talk about next week's lesson plans?
Okay.
Okay. And since Tracy and I are on the same unit, you want us to go first and then
Sure. Yeah.
okay. So we're gonna be on lesson 24,
Yeah,
okay?
which is,
That is, yep, I got it. Okay, so we're gonna be ready for the half chicken.
which is a fairy tale.
Yep, so
Yay.
we're gonna start our folk tales.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna, write down there, letter C.
And things will be normal.
Yep.
With Iowa assessments.
Yeah, so we should be able to start reading. I'm still getting our reading lesson even through using the basic skill time, so. And
Are you going past the 9 o'clock?
I'm
are you
gonna go
going-
until 9:30,
Okay,
so I'm gonna go 1 hour in the morning.
okay. Would that
Right,
eat into
'cause
that
Kate-
though? Don't you?
Well, I think I'm gonna use except for my B day, so we'll start on, what day next week will be?
I have an A, I think.
So we're already into April, so, it'll be an A day. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just do, my reading lessons as much as I can in the morning time,
Okay,
and just not mess up any of the reading stuff, and then if I have to carry it over after lunchtime, I'll just carry it over after
Yeah.
lunchtime, so.
that sounds good.
Okay, so it's on folk tales. And then we really need to probably focus on more of the writing and getting some of that put in before the end of the year.
Okay.
So, so I think we're all kind of just having to decide if we should do more informational, narrative, or opinion. So if we all want to stick together, and then we also have all of the poetry for April that we can work on. So maybe that should be our discussion as far as, do we want to just start in with some poetry and then maybe incorporate some of the writing during the reading time, or,
That might be a good way to ease back into it, is do the poetry, because that'd be fun, and we could do, it's the
Yep.
month for,
Yep.
so it'd be perfect timing, so maybe we could start there.
Yep.
And
so this was some activities that we had from last year. You didn't see me on there?
yeah, you're on there.
Okay, all right, so what we did last year is we just took something off of Teachers Pay Teachers, and then we created a poetry book, and each one has a little craft to go with it, so the kids love to create their craft ideas. So between Tracy and I, we both have samples already made, okay, and then we'll do haiku poems and.
Right.
Yep.
There's like 6 different ones, so, and we have a notebook, but if you wanted to take the copies, and then, they just made a sample from each one,
Mm-hmm.
and, yeah, that's cute. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Yep,
then,
so what, I think just probably about 2 days, I mean, just kind of like putting out the poem, just the steps on how to do the poetry. And then the next day, they kind of did the craft, came up with their own ideas, and then formed their own booklet.
right,
So,
because I took it like in at least 2 days for each one.
and by the time they cut and paste and think about
And they
their
were
ideas.
really proud of it.
So, so you kind of take a day and you kind of introduce the poems and look at examples and make one as a class, and then the next day they
Yep,
did their
and they
own.
have templates,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
they'll have these little templates to go off of and create it, and then put it into a final copy.
Yeah.
So,
Then I thought maybe even,
Oh, no.
hi,
2.0, 2.5,
love it. That
both?
would- Yeah, that would be good,
Okay,
beginning and
I'll run
middle.
it through and put it in your box.
You don't, if you have a download of it, you could just download it to me.
I do, well,
And it's
I don't want you-
too.
Whatever
I have to
easiest,
So-
whichever
Let
is
me
easiest.
Are
see
you
which
thinking
one.
of starting
Yeah.
this Monday?
Thank you.
I
Or
am
no,
not,
you're
I
fine.
will
You're
let
fine.
you do poetry.
You're fine.
I'm gonna probably start
Okay,
my,
I'll get
okay,
it
so
to you.
what I
Thank
have
you.
left to
What
do
about
on
three?
social
I mean,
studies
was that-
is to
You know,
finish
that
this
might be
week.
nice for the higher readers, I just don't want you to.
Then, I
Two
think
to
by
three would be-
Monday, I
Okay.
should be ready to, in the
Thank you.
afternoon, to
Uh-huh.
start my first form of poetry.
That's where I think I would be. I think I can
You
finish
ready
up
to
maps
start
this
Monday?
week.
Or
Close, I'm
Okay.
doing that craft with them for the Van Meter
social
the
studies?
rest this week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, do you wanna stick together for the same form of poetry each day?
Yeah,
or
I'll be
just-
ready for poetry on Monday.
Okay, But does it matter, I mean, we can go with whatever poem you wanna start them with, I mean, I don't think we have to be together for that, because there's 8 of them.
No,
And
as
so
long as I
whichever
have
one-
all the materials that,
Right,
yeah.
so you might wanna do opposite of
Yeah.
what we're doing, so you can take our sample.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
that's,
true.
that's true, yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
You know, we could even rotate the classes.
Yeah.
If I wanted to do haikus and then
Uh-huh.
it could be on 3-day rotations if you want to.
And then in this book, this writing new strategy book that we just got, there are ideas in the back that talked about, comes kind of back to that poetry cafe. There's something called a poetry slam or a coffee house. So
Oh,
it's
fun.
something that we could maybe do maybe with another class coming in or parents,
Yeah.
if we have time to call parents in to
Let's-
kind of, I would love to
I
do
would
that.
too.
We've always
Let's-
talked about that for
we
the
do,
last
we
2
haven't
years
done
and
it.
we haven't done it.
Let's
Because
do
Well,
it
I
on
think-
poetry.
Yeah, I think maybe if we just set it for, set a date, we get it booked like now.
Mhm.
Because if it's like the end of April, we give them a month's notice because of,
And the poem in your pocket is April 27th, so we're
Okay.
Skyping.
With
I mean,
Shannon.
that might be a huge
That'd be
day.
great.
I'm not sure what day April 27th is on, but maybe even that
It's a
Friday.
Thursday. Yep.
Do you think we could do that?
I just like the idea that they have to, I mean, because that would be great,
an audience.
that
or-
they have an audience and they have to work on their speaking and
Mhm.
listening, so that'd be a good standard to write down for that. But 5th grade used to do this, remember when Janelle did her poetry
Poetry
cafe?
cafe. Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah.
And the kids would get up and I think 2nd grade could take a little bit of that over because it kind of got
Yeah.
dropped, so.
Yeah.
Well, and they could pick their favorite poem from what they have
Yep.
worked on in the past weeks and give it to that poetry cafe.
Yep,
But is it at night? It's during the day?
I would do it during the day.
Could it be like a Friday before we get out,
Yeah,
even?
mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like
like
That might
12:30,
be
12.
do it.
And we did, I thought we had a
Kind of like
Like
when we do our
lemonade and
parties.
cookies?
Mhm.
Do what now?
lemonade and
Oh,
cookies.
yeah.
And that's what it says here. It says, serve warm drinks or what it allows students to read into a microphone and celebrate the writer with snaps instead of claps or whatever, so.
And Marcia would have a microphone and Bob has microphones.
Mhm.
I used one last year for something with it from Bob and it has like an
Oh,
amp.
yeah. Uh-huh.
It's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so let's kind of put that into the plan. I mean, I don't think today we're gonna get it all talked about,
Yeah,
but we could
maybe
tentatively.
Friday, I know we're talking about, on Friday, we're talking about our standards, getting those hashed out with, Infinite Campus, but I'm hoping those won't take as long, so maybe we can hash out details on Friday too.
Yep, because the 28th would be the end of April.
And
So
the
we could do it on this
27th is
Friday.
poem pocket, poetry in your pocket, so the 28th would be
Okay,
perfect.
so should we just tentatively put
Yeah.
Poetry
Poetry
Cafe on the
Cafe.
28th from
12 to
12 to 1.
1:15
15? Yep,
or 12 to 1, then they can get ready to go and,
yep,
but that would give everyone enough time to read their own poem in, you know,
Oh, yeah, for
wouldn't it?
sure, yeah, cause
Yeah.
the poems are pretty brief.
12 o'clock to end with that many amount of students.
And they could be
if
just-
they each read, even if
One
they're
or two.
free verse, the free verse would be one where they have to kind of come up with their, well, they all have to come up with their own, but
Right.
they could pick 2 poems to share into the microphone and then
Yeah.
sit down and the
Yeah.
next student come up.
Yeah.
And then the parents could see all of their work around the room
Yeah.
of what we've been working on
That'd
for
be
the
good.
past month.
That'd be
Poetry
awesome.
month.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be
Okay.
good. You might wanna
Do you want me to-
stop it now, because when I tried to send a really long one last year,